Okay, so good morning to everyone. Good morning. About to go into the office for work. Yes, I am an essential worker, so I work 3 days out of the week in the office, and then 2 days I work from home. I was doing two days in the office and 3 days at home, but with my type of job, after working from home for a month, I needed that extra day to be in the office because working from home is good and I'm not complaining at all, but it does take time to actually transition. It really does. Okay, so it's like when you work from home, and I have everything I need. I have a laptop, the office phone, all of that. I have all of this stuff that I need, but I do a lot of customer service where I physically deal with people, like speaking to them on the phone. Of course, right now in our office, we're not letting people in, but I deal with a lot of people, and I need to be in the office. I need to be in the office that extra day. So I'm not complaining at all. It was my decision anyway. Okay, listen. What I want to talk about is I was thinking about that story with Jesus and the prodigal son, the parable. And that story is so powerful. Something, when we mess up, when God has given us our blessings, right? And then we do something, we let the enemy in because we did that because that was our own choice. We can't blame nobody for that but ourselves. But the good news is that in that story, in that parable about the prodigal son, he humbled himself. He humbled himself before returning back to the father. And when his father was waiting on him and was waiting on him with the best of the best. You see, we have to humble ourselves when we mess up. We cannot blame the devil. We can't blame this one or that one. When we've done something in our own life to mess up, we have to humble ourselves and ask God for forgiveness and have a repentant heart for real. And turn away from those things that just are not like God. I've been through that situation myself, in my life years ago. And I remember it just as plain as day how I let the enemy in. And you know what? I said, Lord, never again. Never again will I ask God to bless me for something and then let the enemy come in. Okay? We have to be very mindful of the decisions that we make in our lives. We have to be mindful. We have to make sure we humble ourselves. We have to humble ourselves and turn away from those things that are not pleasing to God, because you know what? At the end of the day, they don't add up to nothing. They don't produce nothing but destruction. So we just have to make sure we humble ourselves and go back to the Father. See, the enemy would love us to live in condemnation. But see, that's not what Jesus wants us to do. Humility. And that's what that prodigal son did. He humbled himself. He humbled himself. But what I also paid attention is to that brother of his. See, when we humble ourselves and go back to the Father, there's going to be people just like that brother that feel like we don't deserve God's grace, His forgiveness. There's going to be those type of people. And guess what? Sometimes that person will be your own self. That person, that prodigal son brother, could represent your own flesh that don't want you, that say you don't go back, you shouldn't have God's forgiveness, look what you did, blah 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 blah. You know what? Jesus also said, he whom the Son set free is free indeed. And see, we can't be free if we don't humble ourselves. That humility, it got to come first. So my prayer is that the Lord would help us to humble ourselves. Amen. Okay, y'all. So to work I go. I'm coming up with some more good react videos, y'all. Our Mariah Carey, though, is coming to an end. I got one more song, and our Mariah Carey's coming to an end. I'm going to move on to another great, wonderful singer, but I'm not going to tell y'all who it is. All right. Be blessed.